Hi guys, welcome back to Jack's Art and Travel Alcove. I'm going to do it a bit differently today and do a voiceover, but today I'll be showing you 3 super cool little experiments and satisfying things that I've found out in my years of just playing around with art, and I have a feeling this is going to be a long video, so yes, let's just get started. Whoop. So the first experiment we have is the milk, dish soap, and food coloring experiment. Now this one I've done with my friend before, and it's turned out super cool, and I decided to get, I used whole milk. You can use any type of milk, I presume, but you're gonna need some dish soap, and you're also gonna need some food coloring. So I just poured the milk in. And then I used 1 gel food coloring and 1 normal food color. The normal is the green and the gel is the yellow. The green was definitely more dominant than the yellow. The yellow one sort of like stayed in place until you really started stirring it around. But what it's supposed to do is you're supposed to pour in the milk and then pour in food coloring in the middle. And then you're supposed to get something like a straw. Wet with dish soap, and then you will see what happens. It's super interesting. So I was pouring in the gel food coloring, and see, you can sort of see it, but not that well. But then you're gonna get your straw, and then you're gonna get your dish soap, and you're gonna just dip it in as so. And if there's too much, try not to drip it onto the milk, or else it'll separate the milk already. Oh, whoops, I just spoiled it. But basically, all you're gonna do is just press down, and it'll separate like that. It is a super cool thing, super satisfying, and I think you guys would really enjoy doing it. And you can stir it around like I did. And see, the yellow's starting to come out more. But you can stir it around like I did, and it'll turn out super cool. That would be a good like iPhone background almost. But yeah, I love this experiment so much. The next experiment I did was with baking soda and vinegar. Now I'm pretty sure you've all know the reaction that baking soda has to vinegar. If you don't, it just fizzes up a lot. But I wanted to put a bit of a twist on it and add some paint to the baking soda before the vinegar and see if it would make like color bubbles. And so I added in my baking soda, which by the way smelled like pretty bad because I had fruit punch scent in it, but that mixed with baking soda was not good, and you sort of want to get all the clumps out. And then I added paint on top of that. I added a bit of red paint, and it mixed together to be like a pinkish color. It was like a pretty cool color for this experiment. I think it was perfect. Now you'd think that it's sort of weird to mix in because it would clump up in the baking soda, and all you have to do is pretty much just keep mixing, and it might seem like really clumpy at first, but then what I did eventually was take it out of the like cup and pour it directly onto the new plate. And yes, I also recommend doing all of these on a plate or in a thing with round edges, like edges that round up, because they did get a bit messy, but the plate made easy cleanup. So yeah, you're just gonna go in with your hands and mix that all up, and it will feel like, and then you're gonna spread it all around the plate and try to get it even. And then I had this vinegar in a really weird water bottle because I needed to get it from downstairs. And I used apple cider vinegar, and it had a really good reaction, but white vinegar would also work. Now this worked out super cool because it made like red bubbles from the pink, which made it darker, which was not what I was expecting. See, at first it turns light, but then it turns dark red like the other. stuff. I stirred that around, and it was pretty cool, and it made some really nice sounds, as you just heard. And yeah, that was a pretty cool experiment, but it smelled like barf to me. Anyways, on with the next experiment. Now for this next experiment, it's the like instant slime sorta. So as some of you may know, I was really into slime right before I started this channel. So I've seen this on this app called Kawaii, and I thought it would really be cool for me to test it out. So all you had to do was heavily pour in a lot of borax to the plate and get some really hot water. Well, not really hot, but it has to be warm or else it'll crystallize faster, the borax. And what the borax is going to do is it's going to coat the glue in a like activated coating, a slimy coating, and so that you can play with it. But be careful whenever you're playing with it not to pop it, or else all of the glue will come pouring out. But this was also a really cool experiment. I tried 2 different options, purple and I think it was an ombre between yellow and red. But yeah, you're just going to pour that hot water on and mix it really, really well and try to get none of the powder to be visible. At the end, some of it was visible, but that's okay because it's just, you're going to try to get to dissolve so it doesn't crystallize as fast. But yeah, mix this really thoroughly, and these turned out pretty well, and they actually had different reactions based on the color, but it might have just been on the fastness, the speed of the borax crystallizing. But the paint I used to color the glue, I just used some Amazon Basics white glue out of a gallon. But yeah, then I just mixed it really well and made sure not to leave any white spots. But yeah, now is the time where I get the cup. I used 2 different cups for this, and I did glue in 1 cup from that gallon, and I just needed to make sure that it was really, really mixed up, that borax. But in a second, I will do glue in 1 cup and paint in 1 cup and mix up really well. So as you can see, I'm finally adding the glue in after mixing it for a while. You can still see a lot of the borax in the bottom though. But I just used that same Crayola washable paint and put it right in there. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. And then I mix it really well because my past experiences with paint and slime, unless you put it in while you're making it, it makes the slime stiffer or harder. But yeah, you're just going to mix that up really well. I really liked this purple color, and I really liked the result too. But then you're just going to pour it in. This didn't have a good of a flow as I thought it would be, but at first it looked really disgusting whenever you pour it in. It sort of looks like barf, but then once you like get the edges surrounded in the borax, especially the top, and then you take it out, it turned out pretty good. See, it has that like sort of like glossy, cool color, and you're gonna want to mix the borax in with your hands manually, but be careful not to pop it. And yeah, it actually turned out really well. It was obviously overactivated, it felt like putty, but other than that, it was actually pretty good, and I wish I had done this in my slime making days before I quit. But yeah, this was really cool. After I did that, I put some more glue in a separate cup, and I decided that I'm going to do a yellow and red ombre, and I'll make it like orange in the middle. I'm sorry, I'm so yawning. I'm so yawny. But then, yeah, I just mixed that. I mixed that slightly just by like jiggling it in my hand, like you can see here. But mixing it or pouring it in also mixed it up a good bit. So I pour it in, and at this point the borax has pretty much crystallized, so it wasn't as good, and it still like stayed as glue sort of. But as I poured it in more, it started becoming more orange, which I thought was really cool. and I tried to get it up on the sides, but it started to stick to the bottom because of the borax had crystallized and there was no way for it to activate itself. But then the water sort of turned orange and it was sort of cool. But then I took it out and this one turned out weird. The glue pocket got loose, but it was also like really overactivated at the same time, so it was sticky and stiff. It was not good. But yeah, it was like, okay. But I actually really enjoyed this one and all of these. And thank you guys so much for watching, and you can basically just see me trying to clean up and like playing with the water. My goal is to get 20 views per video and 1,000 subscribers by next summer, and I'm going to be uploading a lot of videos. I just booked my appointment with a pottery studio for Thursday, so I could probably film there and get it all set up, and then I can post it either Thursday or Friday. But I'm also going to camp for 3 weeks, so sadly you guys won't get too much content. But also this borax getting off of the plate was really cool too. But please like and subscribe and help me get my goal. The views, we have about 20 views in the last post, so thank you guys for that. I currently have 0 subscribers, but if you could subscribe, like, I won't spam you, but I think you guys would really like my content because I'm just starting out. I need a better setup, I know. But I look forward to advancing with you guys, and I will see you later.